Latest deal is that there's a big deal about a property in Waycross. $4.5 million this property in Waycross is supposed to be worth. Is this property your personal residence down in Waycross?
Actually, the property was purchased for a country spa for women. Okay. It was an investment property. I owned 3 houses before I purchased this property. Mm-hmm. This property has 4 houses on the property, and the property was for my women's spa. The partners sold, and this was a vision that God had given me. It's 30 acres of land, 12 acres of lakefront, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I felt like this was the vision that God had given me for a women's spa. And so I presented it to the partners, and we obtained the property. Okay. So it does have a living quarter on there for me, which actually, when I'm not here in Atlanta, that is where I now reside since my situation. Mm-hmm. My home was here in Atlanta, as everybody knows that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so when I go back and forth to Waycross, there is a ministry quarter for me, a house that's on the property that I do stay in when I'm there.
Okay, now the media is reporting that there are upwards of $40,000 in taxes that are owed, property taxes owed on the property. Tell us about that.
Okay. When I first purchased the property, I wasn't aware that I was eligible for tax exempt because the property was purchased under the flagship of Juanita Ministries, and it is ministry property. And Juanita Ministries function, we took one of the larger houses that was there, and we turned the whole house into Juanita Ministries. And actually, when you pull up to it, it's kind of massive, and it houses the call center and all of that. So, the Juanita Ministries, our office is moved from the Crawford Street office space, which was a elementary school, and we moved everything onto the property. So Juanita Ministries function from that particular properties, our mail-outs and call-ins, everything. And so I wasn't aware that I was eligible for exempt status because it was ministry property. So when I found that out, the taxes were coming up due, and I had some individuals that was trying to get the tax reversed and saying, well, we're not going to pay it because, we know that we can get this reversed for you. Mm-hmm. And so what I did was they asked me for a payment. So I gave them $5,000 for due diligence until we can get the issue resolved, and thinking that they're going to reverse it back. I'm not going to have to give them $40,000, and it's going to be tax-free. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so the deadline came, and it wasn't reversed yet. And so by the time that happened and hit, and, I have been off work for 5 months and have only preached maybe 2 to 3 times. And our income for Juanita Ministries is based on me out ministering and the whole 9 yards. And so I really went through something in this situation. Yeah. So when it came up that it was due, of course, I want to be a little bit more candid by saying this. I just want to testify that I just went ahead and paid it, and the balance was $33,000 some odd dollars. Mm-hmm. And so it's a done situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't want to have to give anybody money that I didn't have to give them, but of course time ran out, and being that I'm in the news and all over the news, and everybody's seeking for everything they can find, they just chose to take that and run with it, and they did. And that's all a part of being who I am. People look at me, and I left the radio station the other day, and they was like, it's on the news and whatever, but people need to understand, when you sign up to say yes to God, and your life is open to the public, you're open for public scrutiny. And if I'm telling you, if I fell down underneath the seat behind everything everybody had to say about me, I wouldn't be here 25 years in ministry. And so only the opinion of God counts. And, as long as I know what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do, and doing the best that I can. And in reference to somebody saying, making the comment about, my mentorship class. My mentorship class is a class that I've always taught and trained people how to survive in difficult times, how to keep their spirit right, how to have the right attitude about what they're going through, and trusting God, and having focus and all of that. So, this is not a hit at, who I am as a mentor, because people can look at a glass half full or half empty.
Right.
They can concentrate on the fact that, she owed $40,000 in taxes, but people won't look at it's a $4.5 million piece of property, $26,000 a month, and she got it in her name. So, ain't nobody giving you that kind of money with toe-up credit. That's bottom line. Nobody's handing you that kind of money with bad credit, and I did not have a co-signer, and so, I just, I'm not afraid of stuff like that. Even the IRS and all of that, I paid the IRS hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think in my New York house alone, I got over $389,000 worth of receipts in the last 2 years. That, to my agent almost became my cousin. It was like, I didn't know people I had, working for me, messed me up. And so, you know what? I'm getting ready to suck it up and tell me what I owe you and put me on a payment plan. And I have been faithful with my payment plan and paying the IRS. So, I'm not scared of bills. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the God that provides, and he does always. He just comes through. That's just the kind of faith I have, And so if many people that are listening, if you're waiting, to do your dream or to do stuff because you don't have enough money, you'll keep on waiting. And if you want to fall out the door and fall away from your desk because you got a bill, then you're going to have to do your job from the floor constantly, But things happen and things come up. And the bottom line of it is we just have to keep our faith in God and keep our trust in God. Because the Bible tells us that it is my integrity that shall preserve my inheritance. And it also says that it is my integrity that shall uphold me and set me over in his presence forever. So absolutely, this is one of the roughest times that I've been through, but I thank God for the partners, that have continued to sow, and people that have just continued to say, Prophetess Bynum, we standing with you, and we standing with you in faith. And I want to thank everybody for doing that. But on the lighter note, it's all good. Brian is looking at my receipt.
That's right.
Brian is looking at my
I got the receipt in my hand.
Saying that it's paid.
Paid. It says paid today. There it is.
Okay. It's in Proverbs 4, and it says 4:24. Put away from you false and dishonest speech, and willful contrary talk put far from you. Now, this is the part I love, and I've been living on this, Brian. This is how I'm surviving. It says, the 25th verse, let your eyes look right on with fixed purpose, and let your gaze be straight before you. My God, that means don't let nobody take you to the left or to the right, not even the media. Keep your gaze. I got to talk to myself right now because they can make you mad. Keep your gaze. I'm saying self, keep your gaze looking straight ahead and keep your eyes fixed on your purpose.